Okay, we're here today with a Vostro 3888. It's a Dell computer. It has a Core i5 10th generation in it. We got a good deal on it, and we're going to set it up. There are a few differences with the Optiplex or the Inspiron, so we'll run through those. First is the front. Although these are similar, the general design of the front case is different. It has a DVD drive in it. Now, as we turn it on its side, you'll see there's no latch here that there is on the Inspiron. Back of the machine, this again is the same thing as the Inspiron. What we have is we've got a couple of screws. They're captured, so you just unscrew them. We've got them finger tight. There's a spot to use a Phillips head screwdriver. So when you open the case, you put your fingers in, you put your knuckles against the case, and you rotate and pull it out. It lifts straight up, and you take the case and you put cover and you put it on the side. We're now going to look at this from the back looking forward. This is your power supply. This power supply is a little larger than the Inspiron power supply. It has two slots. This is a slot, the PCI-e slot, where you can either put a video card, a network card, or you can put an adapter that holds NVMe drives. Meanwhile, you have your M.2 port. Your M.2 port is where we're going to put our NVMe hard drive, which is the boot drive. On this side, you can see that there is a clip on the bottom. There is a bracket that you can buy that fits straight down into that clip, and it will hold two either notebook laptops hard drives, which are 2.5 inch, or you could put two SSDs or one SSD in there. Now, taking a tour, here's your DVD or optical drive. Over here, this is very important. This is your wireless drive. So with that hooked up and the two lines hooked up, you can have wireless input and output to it. There are two slots for RAM. They pull back. And the cards slip out. This particular one, you can see we have a pair of 8 gigabyte RAM. A lot of them arrive with 12, which is an 8 and a 4. You can also put a pair of 16s in here, so you can go up to 32, or you can put an 8 and a 16. You know, there's a variety, but you want at least, honestly, these days, you want at least 2 of these. Sometimes it'll come with a pair of 4s, but I suggest a pair of 8s. 16 gigabytes is really pretty much standard these days. So you face, if you're going to install them, you face the label towards the back of the machine. We insert, close with an audible click. Okay, so those are clicked into place. Now on this machine, it has 3 SATA ports. So there's an M.2 port, there's a port that you can use to the PCIe drive, and then there's 3 SATA ports. the power drive, the power connector for those SATA drives is right here. Here's your battery, your motherboard battery. Now, it comes with several SATA connectors. So you could take a drive out of this and put a smaller 2.5-inch either SATA or regular spinner or an SSD drive in it. It has these clips here and here that hold wires in place. So this over here will hold one power line. This is a power line that you'll use when you put your hard drive in here. And we'll be putting a hard drive, screwing it to the front and connecting it up here, and also with the data port, which is tucked away. So let's move that out of the way. Now the clip on this side will hold. So as you can see, the power connector runs power to your disk drive. There's 3 SATA lines to it. So technically, the way this is set up is you hooked one in the front, and then you take the other 2 and hook those on the side. What we can do is, well, we'll talk about that later. So we'll keep this pinned over here, out of the way. And you have your one data port over to your DVD drive. You have your other data port, which they've tucked in the front. So here's your power, and here's your data. Okay, now we're going to show you how to install the hard drive. I've got one here. This is a Seagate. They're all pretty much the same. This is a little thinner. Some of the other ones are a little thicker. But what we're looking for are these 4 holes, because that's what we're going to screw into. So we're going to take our machine and we're going to turn it around, because you want the front off. Okay, there's 3 tabs. If you pull them too hard, they'll break. So we're going to be careful. So take the first one, and you can see that there's little arrows on them because they're going to come this way. So you lift a little on the first one, you lift a little on the second one, and then you'll see it start to pull away, and then you'll pull on the third one. And you can see how the 3 of them come away. Lift the machine up a little bit, and now you're going to have to just pull it out. There's 3 clips. 1, 2, and 3. These will also break if you pull them too hard. When you put them back on, here, you can even see they got some instructions on the inside. When you go to put them back on, there are locators. 1, 2, and 3. And that's where these go in. So you lift your machine up, you locate your holes, and then with your hands here, be gentle. 1, 2, 3. So Okay, so we're going to take the front off. 1, 2, 3. Lift up, pull out, set this on the side. Take your hard drive, take your cables. I would make these available for the front ones, so we're going to leave those tucked in the front. But you want them enough out of the way because you're going to be using this space over here. So we're going to push our cables forward a little bit. And we're going to use these two. Okay, with the front off, we're now going to install the hard drive. Now these are 3.5-inch SATA drives. You can see the power and the data. This is a half height size, some are thicker, but they're basically all fit the same. Now when you look inside the case, you move your cables up, you're going to see 2 spots, 1 and 2. That's what the bottom edge of the hard drive is going to sit on. So you slide it in, and it'll rest against the top frame. Hold your hard drive, set your machine back down, turn your hard drive up, lift up your machine, and you're going to see that it tells you what kinds of screws to use. These are number 6, 32. So if you don't have the screws, go to the hardware store, go to a PC shop, bring your hard drive with you so that you can test that they'll screw in. So there's 4 spots, 1, 2, 3, 4, that correspond with the bottom of the hard drive. Put the screw in, however you do it, and then screw them in. Now, I wouldn't screw them in all the way tight until you get all 4 of them in. And it can be a job when you're holding more than one thing at a time. So now we got 2 of them. There's 3. Like I said, it can be tricky. And now you're going to want to screw all 4 of them in. I would say tight. I mean, that's tight enough where the screwdriver stops. I mean, you don't have to ratchet them down. You just want it firm because it's a moving part inside here. And you don't want it to be loose where it starts shaking, because if it starts shaking, it will work its way loose. And then you got problems. So now we're back inside the machine. We have 2 connectors. We have 1, that's your power. 2, that's your data. And you'll see these have a particular shape with an L shape on it. Okay, now that your hard drive is installed, that's really the only reason we need to take the front off. Although taking this front off and removing dust is something to think about. So you've got your 3 spots. Take your 3 plastic pins, rotate them in. And now we're going to grasp with your fingers and with your thumbs. We're just going to push forward nice and slow. Top, bottom, everything's in. They're all happy. We're going to take the case top. Here's the back with the 2 screws. Turn your case around. So we're looking at it from the back. I mean, you could do it from the front too, but from the back. There's your 2 screws. We're going to drop this in right behind the end of the 3. And it'll drop set right on. Put your fingers on the front, your thumb on the back, and it'll just push straight forward till they come together. Then take your 2 screws, level them out, because if they're straight, they'll start screwing into the case right away. If you're not sure, push the case together a little better and just do them finger tight. And you're done. And now we're ready to take care of and install the NVMe SSD, solid state drive. NVMe, it goes in a M.2 slot. This is the M.2 2280, which means it's the longer one. And we have a cooler. So open up our case. If it's new, it'll have a piece of tape that extends over here. I've just opened this before. There's your information. You'll notice on here there's a serial number. So we just unhook that. There's a notch up here for the screw. There's a notch in here that goes into the M.2 port, which we'll show you in a second. This is a cooler. This particular drive doesn't have a cooler or a heat sink on top of the chip. So what we're going to do is we're going to install one. You have to buy that separate. Take your jelly pack. Now, as a heat sink, this will wick heat off and disperse it. This is your bottom part, and this is your top part. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your drive out. You see this is going to fit on top and on bottom of this. So you're going to, there's a sticky on it, but just for illustration, this will fit in here, and it'll fit so that the one notch is on that side of it, the other notch is on that side of it. This fits in the middle, and that's going to wick your heat off. So let's get going. Now, there's one thing I'd recommend, and don't forget this, is that you're going to need to remove the plastic. If you don't remove the plastic, it's going to not transfer heat as well as it should. And it's sticky. So we take the plastic off. Okay, so we have our three parts. We have our hard drive, we have our lower part, and we have our upper part. Now, we're looking from the back of the machine because we need some kind of orientation. Your hard drive is going to be installed this direction, and you'll see that there's a notch on the motherboard. So, as I said, it's sticky. You take this and you place this part, leaving enough room for here, leaving enough room for there. And then take it so now we unscrew the back of the machine. We take our four fingers and we put that underneath the slot, fingers on the front, and we gently pull back till it stops. You'll see that it stops right at the end of those plastic knobs. Then we just gently lift up and set that on the side. The M.2 slot is right down here, and you'll see that notch, and see this, there's a spot for the screw. We're going to take this. It'll slide down underneath. Okay, so see the plastic and then see the gold. So we're going to want to mate that gold with this gold. And there's just enough room between the top of this plastic and the top of the gold. So do it straight. Set it on top of the gold, slide it in, and set it down. Again, don't screw these things in really, really tight. Screw it in so it sets. So you know it's in there and then it holds. Because if you put too much pressure on these green boards, you can crack them. I mean, I don't know how likely it is, but hey, you don't want to be the first one, huh? So just finger tight there. And there you go. So there's your M.2 drive. Now there's also a kit that you can mount one of those onto a card that stands up and down in the PCIe port. But that's another subject. If you're a gamer, you're going to want a video card. If you're running a network, you're going to want to have a network card in here. If you are running SAS drives, that's where this SAS card will go. So it's multiple and it's faster, but this is the place where you put your boot drive. And then we'll just take the top. So to put the top back on, screws towards the back. Lay it in just in front of these tabs, and it'll just set right on there really nice and pretty. One hand here, one hand in the back, push forward. And that should line up these back screws that they'll just go straight in. Don't over tighten these because It's going to take a screwdriver to get them loose again. So just finger tight, tight enough so that you can loose them again, however you do it, because they'll stay. And that's it.